I check 1 2. Hello, 1 2. Hello. Hello. My check 1 2. Hello. Hello. My check 1 2. Hello.
Hello. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello. Hello. So, gentlemen of the press, we just witnessed the arrival of His Excellency, the Governor. Once again, you're welcome to this edition. Just witnessing the arrival of His Excellency, Governor Dr. Alex Otti OFR for yet another edition of the monthly media chat. Thank you very much. You may be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, you're welcome to this edition of Governor Alex Otti Speaks to Abians. a monthly media interactive session that provides His Excellency the platform and the opportunity to interact with Abians and, of course, the members of the press. Tonight, we will have Frank Chukwemeka of Flow FM and Vivian Samuel of Love FM as moderators. So I will be yielding the microphone to His Excellency Dr. Alex Otti OFR for his opening remarks, after which the moderators will commence. Thank you, and you're very welcome.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen of the press, Abians who are joining us from the comfort of their homes and offices, I want to welcome all of you to our media chat. The monthly media chat, today being the 15th day of August 2025. I want to thank you for joining on time, and I apologize that we are starting a little late, but in spite of that, we'll try and catch up. It's been a few weeks since the last time we met here, and between the last time we met and today, a lot of things have happened. But then I'll just take the key highlights as we normally do, and then yield the floor to Frank and Vivian, who would continue with the proceedings. We continue to push in different areas, particularly of infrastructure, and of course, the other part of infrastructure, the social. But let me start with health. We had flagged off towards the end of last year the project Ekweme, which speaks to about 200 primary health care center rehabilitation within 3 to 4 months. That has been on. We've been able to commission quite a lot of them, but we chose to commission 1 per local government. And at the last count, I think we have covered 5 local governments. But in terms of numbers, 120 out of the 200 have been completed. In the process of these rehabilitations, we found that some of the health centers, primary health centers, did not have accommodation for staff. And we have had to expand the scope such that at least 1 primary health center per ward would have accommodation. And this is the 200 that we are doing, so that they can operate on a 24-hour basis. We have seen some of the primary health centers go over and beyond to render health services to our people. The other time in Bende, a day before we came to commission the health center, a lady gave birth to a set of twins, and they were being well taken care of. So the whole idea is to ensure that most of the health needs of our people are going to be addressed in the primary health centers. And it's only when matters become complicated that referrals will be done to the general hospitals and, of course, the tertiary hospitals. We're also fixing all the general hospitals, and 22 of them. At the moment, the Obiungwa General Hospital is nearing completion and will be commissioned before the end of this month, all things being equal. The Omunato General Hospital is being upgraded to a specialist hospital. The architectural, structural, engineering, mechanical, all the designs have now been completed. And we are at the stage of awarding that hospital for construction. The cottage hospital in Aba has also been completed, and it is now ready for commissioning. And we believe that that will happen any moment from now. The one in Amachara is also receiving attention. Same for Obualangwa, Okwa, Ohafia, and Arochukwu. And I believe that very soon, before the end of this quarter, we'll have many of them ready for commissioning. We rolled out the health insurance scheme, and the information available to me is that as at yesterday, we now have 101,000 people who have enrolled in the health insurance scheme. And the idea is to have everyone in the health insurance scheme, so people are not meant to pay out of pocket whenever they require healthcare services. On education, we continue to work to upgrade education in the state, both at the primary, secondary, and tertiary level. 20 smart schools are being built as we speak. Some of them are existing schools that we are converting to smart schools. I understand one has already been completed in Umuahia, and a few others are going to be completed very soon. 61 other schools at the moment are different levels of completion. If you recall, we had identified 51 secondary schools, and that meant 3 secondary schools per local government, and another 170 primary schools, making it a total of 221 primary and secondary schools that are receiving attention in the first phase of our rehabilitation of schools. You are all from Abia or you live in Abia. So all you need to do is to get to your school. Like I joke with some of my friends, and I ask them, when last were you in your primary school? And you find that a lot of them had not been there. They go back to your primary school and see the state. So what we met was that virtually all the schools were in different stages of dilapidation. And we took a principled stand that we must fix all of them. It doesn't really matter what it takes. because that is the future of our children. And we must pay attention to it. You're also aware that from the beginning of this year, we made education free and compulsory. And that gave rise to massive enrollments, which also meant that the facilities that were already stretched were further stretched. So as we get into some places, we find that the existing structures were not fit to be rehabilitated. And if you move around, you will find that a lot of the schools, we've had to pull down existing structures to erect new ones. We found that in terms of integrity, in terms of cost, that it was much more efficient to do that. And then you can be sure of what you get. It's also sometimes better to just start afresh than to start trying to panel beat an already dilapidated structure. And that's what we're doing in many of the schools. Of course, we also came under pressure in terms of the facilitators, the lecturers, or the teachers. And I'm glad to report, and I'm sure you are aware, that we have onboarded 5,394 teachers as we speak. We've posted them to different schools. We also got reports that some people were posted to areas where they could not operate efficiently, and I gave instructions that people should be posted where they could deliver their best. I've always been a firm believer that somebody should not consider posting as a punitive measure. So if somebody lives in Okwa and you are posting him to Arochukwu, he may have to relocate. And if it's difficult for him to relocate, then he may not operate well. So we like to post people to where they can give us their maximum output. So the ASUBEB, the Ministry of Education, and others involved have sat down to review those postings. So if there's any prospective teacher that we have hired, and I believe they've all been onboarded in the payroll as at this month. So if your posting is not satisfactory, please come back to us, so that we want to post you in your comfort zone, and we want to get the best from you. Moving to the tertiary institutions, I'm very glad with the improvements happening at the Obuneonu Polytechnic in Aba. The report I got was that we were beneficiaries of 2 billion naira Third Fund Special High Impact Fund. Understand that there are 18 state polytechnics countrywide that benefited from that largesse, and we were one of them, Obuneonu Polytechnic. The only one in the southeast out of the 18. So I use this opportunity to congratulate the director and his team for working very hard to earn us such a pride of place. We continue to develop the Osisioma campus, building and completing lecture theaters, hostels, laboratories, and other structures. And the whole idea is that they should start operating from there from the next academic session. The present campus in Aba is also receiving attention. Virtually all the buildings have been renovated. The lecture theater is going to be completed very soon, a new one that we're building. And a lot of good things are happening. The enrollment has also increased, quite unlike what it used to be before, where every year you see enrollments going down. So we believe that maybe in another year or two, we will double the number in terms of enrollment. And I'm happy to also report that we have also introduced contemporary courses in the Polytechnic. The Polytechnic is able to offer artificial intelligence today, robotics, and science and technology courses that are relevant to today's world. Then on Abia State College of Education Technical in Arochukwu. A few years ago, they lost accreditation, and we are working very hard to ensure that the accreditation gets reinstated. So massive work is going on there. We are fencing in the College of Education. We are also fixing internal roads, providing electricity, renovating lecture theaters and hostels, and getting it ready to compete and to be able to train our teachers. Hopefully, we'll be where we want to be by the next academic session, and we can compete. Abia State University, Uturu, continues to receive attention. The hostels are being retrofitted, new faculties of agriculture and law, construction must have begun by now because all the approvals were secured about 2 weeks ago, and the contractors have been mobilized, and I believe that they would go to site any moment from now, if they have not gone. The Abia State University Teaching Hospital in Aba, we have moved to the next stage of facility upgrade. The first thing we did was firefighting to ensure that we got our accreditation back, which was done. Now this next phase is to prepare it to be future ready, to train medical doctors, and I believe that by the next academic session, we will see things change. On healthcare, we had given approval to hire 771 healthcare professionals. We opened a portal, and I understand that close to 2,000 applications were received. About 1,200 of the applicants were shortlisted, and further screening will continue. You get all the people that we require. I believe this week, the Civil Service Commission had also called for application from consultants, those who work on a part-time and on a full-time basis. The whole idea is that as we are getting our hospitals back to work, we also don't want to be caught unawares if we didn't provide for the number of workers that we require to operationalize those hospitals. In terms of works, a lot of roads are also receiving attention, like you can testify to. Most of them by direct labor. I think about 50 of them are being addressed today by direct labor, and about 30 are on contract, and they are all moving smoothly. Yes, some of them have been slowed down a little bit by the rain, but like somebody said yesterday, we defy the rain in Abia. So whatever that needs to be done, when the rains are falling, we do it. But then, of course, when you have to asphalt, you have to ensure that the rains have given way. Some of the challenges we had with funding had been dealt with given the passage of the supplementary budget last week by the State House of Assembly. And of course, in Aba, the Greater Aba Development Authority, those who live in Aba will attest to the fact that a lot of routes, adjoining routes to the major routes, are being dealt with today. The same thing for Umuahia and Ohafia, the Greater Ohafia Development Authority. So in the area of electricity, we are just about to close out. Those who followed would remember that about 2 weeks ago, less than 2 weeks ago, the chairman of Enugu Electricity Distribution Company, Enugu Disco, visited us for us to finalize on our transaction of buying out Umuahia and the adjoining local governments, which include Umuahia North, South, Ikwano, Bende, Ohafia, Arochukwu, Isikwata, and Umunochi. So we we intend to isolate them as an island, just like Aba, and take charge so that we can deal with everything about electricity here. That is going very well, and I believe that in a few weeks we'll close whatever gap that we have, and then we can move to consummating the transaction. We have also set up the, which you of course know, the ASERA, Abia State Electricity Regulation Agency, and of course the Advisory Council was also set up. So we are good to go. The Light Up Abia project remains in force. All the roads we are building, we ensure that we have solar power to power and light up the roads. Even those that have been built before now, we also work very hard to ensure that the place is well lit for a whole lot of reasons. One of them is security. It's more difficult for people to operate in a well-lit environment than in dark environments. The second one is that we are working very hard to ensure that the night economy works here. We have tried to explain this time and time again to say that the more people are awake, the more business they do, and the more money they make. Anytime you go to bed, by say 8 p.m., your money goes to bed. And it's only when you wake up that it wakes up with you. So any money that you put under your bed, instead of having it work, that money is useless to the economy until it wakes up. We have also fixed, and that's the first phase of the electricity project in Abia State University that was handled by the Ministry of Power and Public Utilities. And we are now moving to the next stage of setting up a turbine that will generate no less than 15 megawatts of power that would support, that would be an independent power project that will support the university and environs. The I's and T's are being dotted and crossed, and hopefully we'll roll that out soon. Very soon, so that they will be independent of public power supply. On our urban renewal projects, we continue to ensure that our place begins to look the way it should look. The roads, trees are being planted, and we are doing it quietly, but we are asking for the support of Abia people, not only in planting trees around their houses, but in also ensuring that the ones that we are planting are not tampered with in any way. If anything, that you will support to ensure that these trees survive. We also beautifying the towns with both shelters and laybys, and of course the bus terminals that we are constructing should be ready any moment from now. And there's one in Omuahia. There are two in Aba, and I think one in Hafia in the first instance. And of course, the electric vehicles that we had ordered, I think 20 of them should be ready for delivery any moment from now. Another 20 will be ready before the end of the year. And then we'll continue counting and counting. In terms of youth empowerment, we have chosen a different path because, like I've always maintained, our people culturally do not depend on handouts. That is our culture. There is the new culture of handouts, but that is not our culture. It is imported. And that our people believe in being taught how to fish than giving them fish. So we continue to invest in our young people. The talent hunt exercise that started from the Ministry of Youth and Sports is one of those. The leadership training, leadership academy that just started a day or two ago, where 1,000 of our young people are going through leadership training in Omuahia here, fully paid by government, training being undertaken by the best leadership experts in the country. And the exercise having been conducted in a very transparent manner. We believe that not too long from now, you will see our people occupying positions based on the kind of training they receive. And of course, we have the tech rise program. We also have the fashion program in Abians undertaken by Ethnocentric and MasterCard, supported by the government. And then, of course, the cooperative societies in different wards who benefited from billion naira interest-free facility that we gave last year. And this year, we have approved 2 billion naira to also be extended to a larger number of people. So for us, that is what it is. People want to be empowered so that their trade can move rather than the culture of palliatives and handouts. I guess that's where I want to leave it and open the floor for questions and answers. So, Vivian, I can see you have the microphone. Okay, so over to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Warm welcome to everyone seated in here. Good evening once again, Your Excellency. We're glad to be here with you on this month session of Governor Alex Otti Speaks to Abians. I want to introduce myself once again. I am Vivian Chima, reporting to duty tonight. With me is
Frank Chukwemeka of Flow 94.9 FM. Wherever you are listening or watching this night, this is Governor Alex Otti Speaks to Abians. And then I'm going to hand over the microphone to my colleagues so that we can kickstart the event.
Of course, that's in earnest. Gentlemen of the press, it's time for us to do what we know how best to do. It's an interactive session where we get to hear from the governor. We ask the questions you need to ask, and the governor entertains them and responds to them. You're listening to us from your homes. I remember that this program is an interactive broadcast that is aired live on BCA 88.1 FM, Flow 94.9 FM, Family Love 99.9 FM, Aimba 94.3 FM, Magic 102.9 FM, Vision Africa 104.1 FM, Rail FM 99.1, Sun FM 91.3, Berry.
We're also live on Zig 96.3 FM, Spin 95.3 FM, Rapid 96.5 FM, Payseta 103.5 FM, Bose 89.7 FM, Masters 105.9 FM, Skills 87.7 FM, Dawn 103.7 FM, and we are also streaming live on major online platforms.
Thank you, Chukwemeka. So now we go straight up to the questions. It's to be segmented. First off, we go with the prints. So let's start with journalist Obinna. Your question, please.
Your Excellency. Your Excellency, my name is Chief Journalist Sam Obinaibe. Your Excellency, I'm the Chairman, Correspondent Chapel of Abia UJ. Your Excellency, this seems to be my validatory comment and appreciation. Granted that in the next 2 weeks or about this time next month, I would have vacated and handed over the reins of leadership to my successor as the chairman of Correspondent Chapel, having served for 6 good years as the head of journalists in Nigeria that were posted to Abia State. Your Excellency, 2 weeks ago, I was able to go around your primary health center at Imberim in Isialangwa North, Ibom at Aruchukwu and Ngu Uzakole. Your Excellency, what you did in that area is a signature project that needs to be commended. I want to thank you for that. Your Excellency, one of the observations we have is that when we were going to Aruchukwu, we thought we were going to pass through the normal Itumbuzo via Akwa Ibom. But lo and behold, when we get to Uzuabha via Omenoka Bridge, less than 30-45 minutes, we were at Aruchukwu via the new bridge you constructed there. Your Excellency, you've done very well. This is the place where people need to be. So, having said that, there is a health center in Obodoku in Omo South, where it is currently sited. The people from the northern side of it cannot access it due to the deplorable condition and erosion menace. Your Excellency, the people who are sending their SO message for you to go there to find out what is going so that the good work we are doing in the health center can be appreciated. Thank you very much, Your Excellency.
Thank you, Chief Journalist. Please limit your comments, questions to 3 minutes, 2 minutes maximum, please. Okay, up next, let's go with
Your Excellency, I am Sunday Wakama of the Punch newspaper. You see, when people or somebody is doing well, people will be talking one thing or the other, for and against. I don't want to dwell on the fact that people are rumoring that His Excellency has concluded plans to join ADC. But that is not my problem. My question is, Your Excellency, very recently we were excited that you got an approval to borrow 125 million naira dollars, about 18 billion naira from Islamic Bank. Recall that Omar did a similar thing. At the end, he even had to use land to pay off certain areas, which these people are talking about using as a roga. Now in other states, people are worried. One, you may have stated where this money will be used for development. But recall that these people said that they will dip Quran in the sea. Are we not mortgaging ourselves to the Islamic foundations?
Thank you.
Then, secondly, no. The bill, the money, what is the interest rate? What is the duration? And how are we going to pay back? Thank you, sir.
Thank you. One more person from the print. Okay, let's go with Ibako.
Thank you, Your Excellency. It's wonderful to be here again. And all that you have told us here is so wonderful also. But my name is Ibako Oji. Thank you. New Telegraph newspapers. They, wonderful. All that you have told us here that the government has done is all verifiable, we can see. But I was listening to hear what the government has done or is doing or even want to do in the area of agriculture. But I didn't hear anything. Is it deliberate? Is it what is happening there, sir? Thank you.
The Governor, please, it's time for you to react.
All right, thank you so much. Elder Chief Journalist Sam Obinna Igwe. Thank you for your very positive comments, and we note that this is going to be a validatory session. In fact, I was scared when when I had valedictory, and sometimes when you hear these things, you want to listen very well. There's this story. It happened in another state that is not here. One young man, he was a troublemaker. So every time he would show up in court. So the last time he showed up in court, the magistrate warned him. He said, "My young man, this should be the last time that you would appear before me in this court." And the young man said, "My lord, are you retiring?" So when you talked about valedictory, so if the magistrate is not retiring, you definitely show up in court again. All right, so you are stepping down from that rule, but you remain a journalist. So you remain an elder and a chief. All right, so we note your positive comments about the primary health centers you visited, and then your commendation about the Ndiokereke Uzuabam Arochukwu Road, including the Omenoko Bridge. Thank you for those positive comments. Now, I think you said Obodiuku, right? Okay, I think I know where Obodiuku is. So I would ask the Commissioner for Health and Commissioner for Works so that they can go and have a look. It's just that the access is bad, right? Okay. Okay, it's not that the health center is bad. The health center is okay. Okay. As time goes on, we will also take another set of health centers. The whole idea is to ensure that all the 948 primary health care centers work. At the moment, we can say 120 are working or are ready to work. There's also a 67 being handled by the World Bank. I haven't got a briefing on that. I would like to know where we are with that. Even though it's being done by World Bank, it's still for us. So we need to have some oversight. So please, you've taken notes. So thank you. We would check and ensure that the access is fixed. Then Sunday, Wakama of the Punch. Thank you for letting me know that I think you are saying you heard that I'm going to APC or ADC. Which of them? Both of them. Okay. All right. I thought I had said some time ago that I'm where I am. But if you have any reason to take me to ADC, you have to come and explain to me. But for now, it can be categorized as part of the rumors that people come up with. Now, you are worried about the $125 billion loan. And your worry is that is coming from Islamic Development Bank. I don't think you should worry. Money doesn't have color. Whether it's coming from the devil or coming from heaven. No? So the important thing is to use the money for the purpose. Okay, so that's what it is. It's Islamic Development Bank. Because it's Islamic Development Bank, there is also something about interest. But I believe that the details will be made clear by the Commissioner for Finance at the appropriate time, but nothing to worry about. The conditions are very generous. By the time I looked at the conditions, I was actually surprised. But where you should worry is what happens to exchange rates. So that's always my worry. If the money was borrowed prior to May 2023, the exchange rate at that time was under 500. But today, if you are paying it back, you will need to look for thrice that money to pay back $1. That's where the issue of deployment now comes in. That's also where hedging may come in. So we will deal with that. But in terms of sinking Quran in the ocean, there's no ocean here. So if you want to sink Quran in an ocean, you will go elsewhere. So there's nothing to worry about, I can assure you. Igbako Oji. No, when you talk about agriculture, we're also doing a lot in agriculture, but we didn't, I didn't want to bore you. If I continue telling you all the things we are doing, maybe I'll be the only one speaking. So I just picked a few issues that were topical. In agriculture, our style is to engage with the private sector. There are two levels. There is the support we'll give our people who are into farming. But those are for more of subsistence farming. But big-time agriculture is undertaken at the level where agriculture is seen as a business. So we've actually signed some MOUs on Abia Palm in Opa area. There's one in Owerenta on rice, and then discussions are still going on around the urban belt. So it's not that we are ignoring it. It is actually the mainstay of our economy up to tomorrow. And in the area of food security, you cannot ignore agriculture. Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency, once again. So we're moving straight to radio. Please remember the rule, one question, and please go straight to asking your question, please. All right, please.
Good evening, Your Excellency.
All right, go on.
Good evening, Your Excellency. My name is Kingsley Onwuka. I work with Rapid FM and Rapid TV. Your Excellency, on 5th of August, a sample of MPOS was sent to Abuja. And Wednesday this week, that result came out positive, sir. But currently in Abia State, we lack designated isolation and treatment centers, sir. And as a result of this, the confirmed suspect from Aba North is now in Akwa Ibom State. Sir, my question is, when exactly is Abia State going to have isolation and treatment center? Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you. I'm not seeing any hand up. All right, Patricia.
Okay.
Please, please give Patricia, please. After her, you can come in, please.
Good evening, Your Excellency. My name is Patricia Mborog, and I work with Flow FM. Your Excellency, I want to call your attention to the gully erosion ravaging Ohabiri in Umuchime, Namaso Autonomous Community, or SAC, in Ibeku, Umuaha North Local Government Area. That site is better seen than imagined. I don't know the faith of the people there, but as we speak, their faith hangs in the balance, and they need urgent intervention from the government to see that place, worked out.
Thank you. Stanley.
Okay. Good evening, Your Excellency. I want to thank you for responding to, sorry, my name is Tabimba. I represent Sun FM 91.3 Berry. On this platform, I brought to your knowledge the situation of some of those workers at Abia Poly who were relieved before you took the mantle. You assured that you were going to look into it. My report here is that they've started receiving their salaries, or the arrears they were owed. I know the remaining people with what I've actually discovered is that their file is presently no more here, and I believe you're going to pay the remaining people. Thank you very much for fulfilling that promise. Your Excellency, my question is about creativity. I want to thank you for trying your best to bring back the creative strength of Abia State. You cannot mention movie making without remembering Abia. About to be very precise, actually did a lot in filmmaking. You want to talk about marketing. You remember 1-2 Pound Road. You remember Iweka and probably Dumota. And you're talking about the hub where movies were made in the past. You think about Reapam Hotel in Obo Hill. You talk about Naiko Hotel in Enugu and then Winnie's Hotel in Lagos. But we lost it because of the kind of mindset our people had. They charge a lot of money for locations and so on. The aesthetics were not there. The state...
Sorry, can we get to the question part of it, please? Thank you.
Let me go straight to the question, sir.
Thank you.
My question is this. A lot of producers who left Abia because of the situation want to come back and film in Abia because the environment is looking good for them. What are your plans? They want to, and the only issue they're having is finance. Are there possibility of providing loans, soft loans for producers to produce and bring back job to Abia State? Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Your Excellency.
All right, let me start with Stanley. Stanley, are you paying attention? Okay. All right, so I'll start by thanking you for acknowledging what we have done with payment of Ubuneanu Polytechnic teachers that were disengaged from 2021. 461 of them have shown up, and many of them have been verified and have been paid. At the last count, about 340 out of the 461 have been paid. The rest of them, by the time they finish their verification, they will also be paid. Besides, we are looking at the cases again to understand if they were fairly dismissed or disengaged.